If you are over 50, there's a silent shift in your body that could rob you of your independence for good. Most people your age are ignoring the clues until it's too late, only to wake up one day unable to walk across the room or remember the names of their grandchildren. If you think that aging gracefully just means moving a little slower or getting more wrinkles, think again. There are hidden changes that start long before anyone notices. And by the time you turn 80, your body isn't just wearing out, it's actually rewriting its own rules for survival. Picture this for a moment. You notice your favorite meals taste bland. Your skin seems to bruise from just brushing against a chair. Suddenly you're waking up at 3 a.m. every single night, feeling worn out by breakfast, and no amount of rest seems to help. Maybe you find yourself forgetting familiar words, or losing your balance in the hallway, or realizing a small scratch on your hand has lingered for weeks without healing. Does this sound familiar? These aren't just annoyances. They're warning lights from deep inside your body that something fundamental is changing. What if I told you there's a point in life all humans reach it, where your body quietly moves into a new phase, where the wisdom you've gained is matched by a set of secret biological thresholds that almost nobody talks about? Even marathon runners and lifelong vegetarians, even the healthiest among us, will cross these lines. And the most shocking part, many doctors don't mention these changes because they happen silently, often before routine tests can spot them. Why does your sleep invert itself? Why does food lose all its flavor? And why are bruises suddenly so hard to heal? In this video, I'll walk you through the 5 irreversible changes that happen inside every body after 80 and what you can do to adapt. But be warned, ignoring these can lead to years of unnecessary frailty, frustration, or even worse, a life that shrinks before your eyes. Are you noticing any of these signs in yourself or a loved one? Keep watching because what I share here could help you spot trouble before it takes hold. This video is for educational purposes only and should not be considered medical advice. After 40 years as a brain surgeon, I've spent thousands of hours seeing the inside of the human body quite literally. What I've learned might surprise you. Aging is not just a slow slide downward. It's a series of carefully orchestrated changes, as if a master switch is flipped deep inside your mind and your body starts obeying a new set of rules. This strange transformation doesn't break us, it helps us survive longer, but it comes with very real costs. Let's dive into the first of these 5 changes. It starts where you might least expect it, at the tip of your tongue. The first sign your body is crossing into its final adaptation phase is a quiet fading of your senses, starting with your taste buds. Imagine waking up and realizing your morning coffee tastes like warm water, or the sweetness of fresh berries is suddenly dull and muted. By age 80, most people have lost as much as 70% of their taste buds, according to experts from the Monell Chemical Senses Center. Originally, taste buds replaced themselves every 10 days. Your body was always brewing a fresh layer of flavor sensors. But now, those cells aren't regenerated with the same youthful speed. Instead, they shrink, falter, and die off faster than they're replaced. The result, every meal starts to lose its magic. What's worse, taste is more than pleasure. It's protection. Your taste buds are your first line of defense against spoiled food, bitter toxins, or dangerously high salt. When those defenses fade, you may find yourself unconsciously loading food with extra salt or sugar, just to get some sense of satisfaction. Research from Harvard highlights a scary fact. Older adults who lose more than half their taste sensitivity are up to 40% more likely to end up with high blood pressure or diabetes, not directly because of aging, but because their brains crave flavors only extra salt or sugar can provide. It's an invisible risk that builds slowly, bite by bland bite. But why does food taste so flat? It's not just the tongue. After 80, your saliva production slows way down. Saliva helps carry flavor molecules to your taste buds, and as it declines, so does your sense of taste. I'll never forget Dorothy, an 82-year-old retired chef I knew. She once joked she couldn't even taste her own famous stew. It wasn't a loss of passion. It was her nerves, tongue, and salivary glands aging together. Even worse, your sense of smell. A whopping 80% of flavor drops off. 2. Many people over 80 have what's called presbyosmia, a partial or total loss of smell. This makes the world of food seem even duller, but it's more dangerous than you might think. You could miss a gas leak or not notice spoiled milk, opening you up to hidden dangers around your own kitchen. Little by little, these quiet changes sap appetite and can eventually push older adults toward malnutrition, sometimes without anyone noticing until hospital time comes. Next time mealtime feels dull, remember, it's not just in your head, it's biology, slowly changing how you connect to the world. Now, let's go a layer deeper. The next irreversible shift happens right at the surface, your skin. By your 9th decade, your skin isn't just thinner or wrinkled, it's forgetful on a molecular level. Cuts, scrapes, and bruises that once healed within days now seem to linger for weeks or even months. In a major study published in Nature Aging, researchers found that after 80, your skin cells lose their memory, the molecular instructions that once taught them how to rebuild. When you get a small cut, your body usually sends in fibroblast cells that make collagen and repair tissue. But in later life, that genetic map is faded. The cells arrive late or wander, sometimes repairing too little or too much, forming odd scar tissue. I remember Marjorie Otgant Dree, who showed me a paper cut that had been on her hand for nearly a month. Her skin wasn't just slow to heal, it had lost its coordination. This loss of cellular memory is called epigenetic drift by scientists. The genetic instructions your cells follow begin to blur, and even normal wounds confuse your body's repair system. On top of that, your skin thins by as much as 20%, and collagen, the glue that holds everything together, has dropped by up to 75% compared to what you had at 25. Blood vessels, too, harden and shrink, so oxygen and healing nutrients take longer to arrive. Even a gentle knock can now raise a bruise that spreads for days. These purple patches, known as senile purpura, can appear suddenly and have nothing to do with bad luck. They are signs of a healing system operating in slow motion. This all sets the stage for more infections, more time waiting for scabs to fall off, and a higher risk of pressure sores. Infections that might have cleared up in days last 3 times longer in those over 80. There's a hopeful twist here, though. Some research suggests gentle sunlight, adequate vitamin C, and new treatments like low-level lasers or collagen peptides may boost healing, even late in life. For now, the lesson is simple. This is not vanity, it's your body asking for more care and attention. Now let's turn to the change that hits hardest at night. After 80, people often find themselves bolt upright at 3 a.m. or drifting off during a TV show, only to be wide awake again before sunrise. This isn't just poor sleep or bad habits. It's your brain's sleep clock, the circadian rhythm literally flipping its script. At the heart of the brain, there's a tiny group of about 20,000 neurons that set the rhythm for sleep and alertness, known as the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Normally, your eyes pick up light from the rising sun, signaling the release of hormones like melatonin to help you sleep. But as you age, your eyes let in less light and your brain's master clock loses certainty. This confusion causes a cascade of disrupted rhythms. Your body can release sleep and alertness hormones at the wrong times, turning restful nights into restless cycles of naps and waking. It's called advanced sleep phase syndrome, and according to Sleep Medicine Review, affects nearly 60% of people over 80. But the impact goes far beyond feeling a little tired. When this rhythm breaks, your core temperature, digestion, immune defense, and heart rate can easily fall out of sync. 2. You might eat when your body isn't ready to process food, or have your blood pressure drop at odd hours. Studies in the Journal of Gerontology show disrupted sleep cycles triple the risk of heart events and speed up memory loss. I remember a patient named Evelyn Otgosti, who told me her days and nights had simply swapped. No matter when she went to bed, she couldn't stay asleep past 3 or 4 in the morning. Through a combination of gentle exercise, morning sunlight, and changes in lighting at home, we were able to partially reset her internal clock. Within weeks, she felt human again. Behind the scenes, good sleep is when your brain literally cleans out toxins. When deep sleep is interrupted, proteins that build up during the day aren't cleared away, and that can raise your risk for memory problems. While supplements like melatonin can help, the basics morning sun, gentle movement, and regular meals are still the most reliable ways to protect your sleep. Let's shift focus now from sleep to what's happening in your muscles. Deep beneath the skin, there's an invisible battle taking place in every person over 80. Your muscles, which once drove you upstairs, hoisted groceries, or let you kneel in the garden, are quietly shrinking in a process called sarcopenia. This is the body's way of choosing survival at the expense of strength, by cannibalizing its own muscle fibers for energy. According to research in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia and Muscle, by age 80, nearly half of people suffer from some form of moderate to severe muscle loss, even those who still walk daily and try to stay fit. What's behind this? The body's natural balance between muscle building and muscle breakdown goes off kilter. Hormones that once helped ramp up muscle repair, like testosterone and estrogen, fade away. Each year, people over 80 can lose about 1% of their muscle mass and even more of their muscle strength. That might not sound like much, but compounded over a few years, it can mean the difference between being steady or feeling constantly at risk of falling. I once treated Henry, a retired farmer who always considered himself strong. At 83, he confessed he felt hollow and unsteady, as if his body was burning its own reserves just to keep walking. He was right. When the body can't get enough energy from food, it literally begins to break down muscle protein, turning it into sugar to keep the brain alive. Unfortunately, this self-cannibalization not only weakens muscles, but also strips away critical amino acids needed for immune health and mental clarity. Muscle loss is invisible at first, but leads to a steep rise in falls, fractures, and infection risks. Older adults with severe muscle loss are much more likely to end up in hospital, and research has linked loss of muscle mass with shorter life expectancy. The only proven way to slow muscle decline is to use them. Every step, every stretch, every bite of protein signals to your body these muscles are still needed, even if gains are slower. Resistance bands, walking, and protein-rich snacks can make a life-changing difference. Now, let's go back to the control room. Your brain itself. Even if you avoid major illness, another quiet revolution is taking place inside your head after age 80. By this time, most people have lost about 20% of the brain's white matter, the superhighways that carry messages between different regions. In response, the brain frantically rewires itself, rerouting signals through backup routes just to keep you thinking and moving. This adaptive rewiring is a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it's amazing it lets you keep going even as old pathways fade. On the other, it comes with delays, lost words, and moments of confusion that appear out of nowhere. According to Nature Neuroscience, these rewiring efforts explain why someone might walk into a room and forget their purpose, or lose the thread of a conversation mid-sentence. Sometimes, these are simply pauses, temporary confusion as the brain takes the scenic route instead of the old highway. There's a silver lining, though. The emotional core of the brain, the limbic system, tends to remain strong. I noticed many patients like Albert, an 84-year-old who remembered events from his youth more vividly than what he ate for breakfast. You might forget small details, but recall deeply personal experiences with astonishing clarity. This is your brain prioritizing emotional memory over new facts, a natural, protective shift. But the rewiring can sometimes misfire, briefly scrambling thoughts or balance. Studies from JAMA Neurology found 1 in 3 adults over 80 experience these mental fogs. Unlike dementia, these episodes come and go, often improving after rest or social interaction. The best way to support your brain's new wiring. Stay curious. Simple challenges, puzzles, conversation, or even learning a new skill help keep these backup circuits strong. All 5 changes: your tongue losing its sensors, your skin's fading memory, your sleep clock flipping, your muscles shrinking, and your brain rewiring aren't signs that you're broken. They're evidence that your body is still adapting. fighting, and reorganizing itself for survival. Even after 8 decades, there's enormous hope in that. Science now shows that even late in life, you can regain stamina, rebuild strength, and even boost brain clarity. You can't turn back the clock, but you can help your body write the next chapter. So here's my challenge for you. Which of these changes have you noticed? Bland food, slow healing, restless sleep, muscle weakness, foggy thoughts. Share your story in the comments. My team and I read and reply to every poll because every single story matters. And if you found this video eye-opening, hit the subscribe button and share it with a friend who might need a wake-up call. Keep watching, your journey isn't over. Every day, science uncovers ways to help you adapt, stay vital, and embrace your age with power and purpose. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.